No, because why is Keri Hilson still bringing up beef from 2009? And let that shit.
Hey beautiful people, how you all doing today? It's your girl Destiny here and welcome to my channel. How have you all been? Hope you guys are doing great. So Keri Hilson is on the news. She is trending now because now she's talking about what really happened with a diss track for Beyonce. If you don't know, about over 16 years ago, so many years ago, Keri Hilson did the remix of Turn Me On, and there was a verse in that Turn Me On where she was dissing Beyonce. People thought it was Beyonce and Ciara, but she came later to say it wasn't Ciara, but never cleared that it was if it was Beyonce. And now she's speaking up about it of how this song came to be because that was one of the turning point of her career. In fact, a lot of people believe that that was why she was blackballed and why her career just took a deep dive down from everything. So now she's out here at the breakfast show with Chalamet and all that to clear the air, and she's saying that those lyrics are not a lyric. She was made to sing that song and they licked the song, that she had no personal beef with Beyonce and all that. And I know that a lot of people will say that, but back then in the days, she was talking about it. She didn't seem remorse about it. Why now she's saying that she was not the one that wrote the song and all that. But yeah, let's go check out this clip that's gone viral. And because she really went in depth about what really happened and how things played out. So let's go check it out and then we'll come back and talk more.
Break you, but like you see it, you can't not see it.
Right. Especially now. Yeah.
And she was trolled and jumped before it was a thing. Think about it.
I was going to say, because
I wasn't jumped.
Well, Beehive people get.
I was never jumped. No one ever put their hands on me. No one ever.
No, not in real life. Not in real life.
I'm like, huh?
Keri, like, baby, I'm peaceful. Don't play with me though. Okay, it's Miss Keri, baby.
Digitally
Digitally jumped.
Yeah, digitally. I was like, he talking about the Beehive swarming.
I was never
Hold
jumped.
on.
Nobody ever put their hand on me. I don't know where you got that rumor from. That didn't happen.
You feel that right now,
Decatur, right? Where you from?
Atlanta.
Atlanta. Yeah, okay, it came out real quick. Hold up. No, but I think he's talking about the Beehive, just all of the comments and stuff from the song leak and all that stuff. And now today, at this point, are you looking like when you look back at that? And people will bring it up, so I'm sure you're kind of preparing yourself for that. How do you not even explain it, but like how do you look back on that? What are your comments on it now, so far removed from it?
It's a regret. It's a regret, but not in the way that people would think, because that's a song that I actually didn't write. Those are not my words. I was on tour. Polo wanted me to do a remix to Turning Me On. He had produced the record, and I wasn't, because I was on tour with Lil Wayne. I wasn't able to like lay anything down. He had been on me for a couple of weeks about we need to do a remix. Okay, so I take off. It wasn't happening quick enough for him. I take off, we fly in, and he had another writer in our camp at the time. He had her write this, so he played it for me like this is the remix, because I'm thinking I'm coming in to go write a remix to Turning Me On. Like the whole time I had been writing concepts like, what would I say? How do I even remix this? Like, what do I want to? So I had lines and I had, things that I would have said, but I come into the studio and he plays me this verse, and I'm like, automatically, I'm like, I'm not saying that. That was my position, and that.
But you knew it was shade when you heard it.
Yeah. You could, but I didn't know really who it was about, but. I mean, one could guess, and it just was. I'm an athlete, but I'm a finesse player. I'm not a nasty player. I'm not a dirty player. I don't even look at things like that. I'm competitive I'm also a swimmer, so that's a self sport. That's like an inside game, and that's how I played every sport that I played. So I never found it, but we disagree there, Polo and I, because he believes in kind of the shock jock mentality. He believes in kind of playing dirty to a degree, and I don't.
Yeah, it's not rap.
So exactly. So I tried to fight him on it, and I began writing my own. That's what I did with my time there. But I want to be careful with the word I use. It was quite forceful. You know what I mean?
In an executive artist way?
Yeah, in an executive artist way only. You know, involving others and kind of threatening my career in a sense, in a real sense. Like, you're not coming, because my album wasn't out yet. So it was like, you're not coming out if you don't do this. And the mistake that I made was not continuing to fight. But I was in tears. I was crying. I was adamant that I did not want to do that.
And for people that don't know, you were signed to Polo.
I was signed to Polo and Timbaland.
Correct.
Yep, in a joint venture at Interscope Records.
Yep.
And I was young. I was super young. I felt I had no power. I felt I had no choice. But I did record my version, which had nothing like that in it. It was on subject. The song is about men. And I think days after? He remembers more because he was there.
Wow.
He remembers more. Was it days after when it leaked? It leaked like days after I did it, but he promised me that wouldn't happen. So it leaked. And that was that. And I protected him. I protected the girl that wrote it, who went on to become famous. I protected everyone in the story. So I had to eat that. And I am still eating it to this day. Because I'm getting asked about that 15, however many years, 16, 17 years later. It's like I've worn the scarlet letter, really.
Have you ever...
I'm sorry, but when you answer it once, like
It's
give
done.
people an actual answer, I think that makes it go.
They can't ask again.
I was going to say, I think this is the first time I've heard this. Like,
I have
story.
before, but yeah,
Oh, okay.
maybe you guys is a beautiful platform,
Yeah.
a big one, and maybe hopefully this is the last time I need to talk about that. But that is definitely a regret of not fighting even stronger. But again, when your career is on the line and they make it that be the way that you perceive the situation, not perceive, but it was pretty clear. But when you're that young, you're just kind of like,
Maybe they know better than me.
right,
I have
like,
to, yeah.
maybe. I never felt like they were right. But because my authenticity said the entire time, this can't be the only way to become, like, I was already doing well.
Yeah.
And in my eyes, although it gained the popularity and the recognition, the song, okay, we had a lot of spins, but from that moment on, I was like, this ain't even my path anymore. Now I gotta ride out.
What did Timbaland say?
I think he just went because they were partners. I think he just went along, but I don't remember that we involved him or that he was involved at all, because he hadn't produced that record. But I wonder now. I would love to ask him, like, what did you think about that? What I do know is he went on to work with B and J,
So did Polo.
and tour with him, and so did Polo. And I'm sitting there like, wow. But again, I was trying to keep peace, and also not wanting to put my career. They were still my bosses. I didn't want to put my career further into detriment. So I just didn't want to step in the shit anymore, though. So I didn't want to hold no magazine with her on I just froze. I just was like shook. So whenever anybody brought it up, probably the last time we were here, like, please don't bring up Beyonce. It was probably that kind of environment, because I was shook. I was scared. I was not of her. Like, I love her. I think she's incredible. She's one of the greatest artists of all time. And I'm a fan, like, have always been. That's never been in question for me. But now it's a name I can't say. It's a magazine I can't hold. It's a conversation I don't want to have publicly, just because I don't want to piss anybody off. I don't want to make things even more weird than they already were. I just wanted it to go away. I wanted it to go away. I wanted it off the scarlet letter, you know what I mean? I wanted to clean myself up and just have the career that I wanted to have, but I didn't know how to do that.
So let me know what you think about our clip, because this has gotten a lot of people talking. A lot of people have so much to say about what she said. So let me know what you think down in the comment section. So, and that video when that video was posted by the Breakfast Show, Breakfast Club, what's the show? Esther, a songwriter that has worked with Beyonce and all that, the people said, okay, you know what, she was the writer of the song, because Keri Hilson obviously in the interview did not say Esther Dean's name, the writer of the song, because you could clearly see that she was still kind of protecting, like she didn't want to bring anybody under the bus. But yeah, Esther Dean claimed it in the comment section that yes, she wrote it and it was a hit. But after she did that, people were coming for her, the Beehives were coming for her, and then she tendered an apology, which I'm just going to leave on the screen so you guys see. She tendered an apology and she was saying that yes, things happen, but and she apologized for that, but it was a co-writing situation between her and Keri Hilson, which I'm just like, okay, girl. Anyway, guys, this video has gotten people talking, like the entire situation has gotten people talking about Keri Hilson and why she's speaking up now. So let's go check out people's response to this and then I'll come back and talk more.
The music industry is just so absolutely dirty. So Keri Hilson did an interview with The Breakfast Club, basically talking about, her career and what happened, what went down. Everybody knows that, she came out with that Turning Me On remix, which at the time people thought she was taking shots at Beyonce and Ciara. I remember she had another interview, I think it was with The Breakfast Club back then, and she specifically stated that it was not about Ciara. So that can only leave room for interpretation that it was in fact about Beyonce. So all of these years, there's all of this beef. The Beehive was dragging the shit out of her every chance they got. She could not blink without the Beehive being on her neck. And now it comes out later that basically Polo, the Don, had forced her to put this out, or basically your album's not going to come out. And she said that basically him and this famous writer had come out, basically wrote the song, and then it was, released. My only thing is, after that, there was the issue where she could have cleared things up, where she did not want to hold up that magazine with Beyonce and Jay-Z. Then there was the Happy Birthday Beyonce situation. And now Esther Dean has come out and said, oh yeah, I did write that shit. And now she's backpedaling and she's, apologizing. And it's like, you literally just said that you wrote it and it was a hit, and now you're backpedaling. And it's like, nobody came to Keri's defense. All of this time, that woman's career, took a nosedive. Nobody stepped in. And now you want to step in? You owe her an apology for forcing her hand. And you owe B an apology, too. About she need to go have some babies. She had 3 of them. And still has bigger careers than everybody involved in that scandal.
No, because why is Keri Hilson still bringing up beef from 2009? And let that shit... That shit happened so long ago, and I swear to God, I forget about it. But every single time I forget about it, you bring it back up in an interview. Why do you still bring it back up? Girl, let it go. Just release music. Had you been doing that all along, people would have been forgotten about this shit, but you keep bringing it back into the spotlight. Shut up. You up your own career. Stop trying to blame other people. I get how the industry works. I understand it 100%. I get that other people have written these songs, whatever. It's not just a song, because, the diss was mid. It really wasn't that big of a deal. She should go have her baby, whatever. Stupid. It was dumb. It was really a dumb diss. It really wasn't that big of a deal. It was how you were moving after the fact. All the interviews that you've done since then, that's the real issue. That's what derailed your career. So you need to stop trying to blame other people. Look inwards, boo-boo. It's embarrassing for you. You had a shitty team back then and an even shittier team now, because why do you still talk about this shit? Let it go. Just release new music. Sing. That's what anyone wants from you. I was literally listening to Pretty Girl Rock this morning, and then I saw that clip from the interview. Shut up. Let it go. Move on with your life. I thought that's what you wanted to do. Isn't that what you said in an interview a couple years ago? That you took a pause, you took a break from everything for a couple of years, so then you bring all of this shit back up and rehash it again? It's stupid. Let it go.
Esther Dean is wrong for that. She is wrong for writing that diss track on Beyonce, then handing it to carry my bags to the Hilton. But I knew a messy bitch from Muskogee would be the one who had to write that, because I was like, this is just giving too South for me, too Midwest. This is giving Muskogee when I first heard it. So you mean to tell me Esther Dean collected them pitch perfect checks and the Rihanna checks, did songs with Ciara even though she dissed her, and sat there quietly while Keri Hilson has been crucified since 2009. That is wild to me. And the crazy part is it's extremely diabolical, because Keri Hilson had to move to Africa. That's how bad America just stopped fucking with her. And now she's on The Breakfast Club and all these other interviewers, because she's trying to make a career resurgence, and I hope she does well. She never wasn't my cup of tea, but Knock You Down is so good. But I think it's just a little too late. And now Esther's I'm sorry. I'm nah, Keri, you need to run her a fade. And same with the record label that forced you to sing that, because I kind of feel bad for you now when I'm listening to your interview. You're crying about it. You are nodding up saying you didn't want to release it. And I'm like, yeah, those record companies, they do that shit. And especially back in that day, because no one was touching Beyonce. No one still is touching Beyonce. But also kind of a roundabout way to like start your career off. Like, why would you fight with somebody who's not known for fighting back or fighting? Those record executives really played in your face, Keri. You should sue Esther too.
In an attempt to tiptoe out of the blackball shadows and revive her once thriving career, Keri Hilson goes on The Breakfast Club and says that she did not write that diss song towards Beyonce and that those are not her words, somebody else wrote it. I actually don't doubt that. If you hear the song, which I've heard it, there's either a DJ or another man in the back that is like egging her on. And I think that she let that particular person trick her out her spot. I think that they were your typical messy ass man that you can find in the industry. Charlamagne is also one of them. She should not have taken her ass up there to that Breakfast Club. You just saw all of that mess pop off with Jess Hilarious and that other female comedian messing around with Charlamagne messy ass. Why do you think Nicki and KARI got all this beef? Why do you think Beyonce and Rihanna don't really deal with each other too much? Because the industry is full of messy ass men that talk more than women. Why do you think they all got podcasts these days? I'm dragging everybody from Joe Budden to Cam and Mace to anybody else that you can think of. That same man that's rolling around with a podcast who's affiliated with the music industry or entertainment industry. There's a bunch of messy ass men in that industry, and they love to see females go at it and have cat fights and have beef. Like, it's just the name of the game. It's just the nature of the industry. And going up here and talking to messy ass Charlamagne and weak ass DJ Envy wasn't really smart neither. Whoever put her up to singing that raggedy ass song is now somewhere laughing at her ass, probably blackballed them damn selves for helping her make that bullshit. But at the end of the day, Keri got to take accountability too, because you know what? You sang the shit. You sang it with your whole chest. You proudly told Beyonce to go sit down and have some kids, and look at you now, years later, releasing an album that we not going to listen to. And it's not because you're not talented. It's just because your time done came and went. The cartels, the Carters, they got your ass. You was running your mouth. You forgot that Beyonce is, not just your average singer. This woman is highly connected within that industry. And they got you. And now you've been paying for that shit ever since. And this is just a message. Do not let people trick you out your spot. It's so many people who will smile in your face whole time. They want to sabotage you because they see your potential. Keri has and had a lot of potential. And there's a lot of people in that industry who will see that, and they will do everything in their power to get close to you and stop your progress. Why do you think Normani can't get where she's supposed to go? Why do you think even Beyonce's own artists, Holly and Chloe, can't get where they're supposed to go? Because there are people around them who smile in their face, people who've even signed them, who really just rocking with them on that fake love shit to stop their progress. Take notes from this, learn from this, and Keri, I'm wishing you the best of luck with your new project. Let's talk in the comments.
So Keri Hilson was on the Breakfast Club, and she was saying how Polo the Don forced her to record her Turning Me On remix, where she dissed Beyonce and Ciara back in like 2009. And of course, this is not the first time I've heard this story of Polo the Don putting her up to this, but I just cannot see past the bullshit. I don't like how she's portraying herself to be a victim in that situation, because she had a choice. You did not have to record that song. And I'm actually a fan of Keri Hilson. She had a nice run from 2008 to 2010. Loved her music. I even had her as my ringtone. But my thing is this. You came in the game and you thought that you were the new girl on the block that was going to take Beyonce and Ciara's spot. Because when she was at the height of her career and she was doing interviews and they was asking her about that song, she said she's not recanting anything. She said nobody's going to give it to her, so she has to take it. She said she loves that song. It was a total different story than she's telling today, because she was at the height of her career. Had she stayed at the height of her career and Beyonce and Ciara had went into oblivion somewhere, I guarantee you today she would not be saying that she was forced to do that song and she regretted. She only changed her tune once she started getting real backlash. And the backlash didn't even come immediately. You know when the backlash really started? When Twitter really popped off and the Stan Wars was going on. Once the Beehive got on her ass and her career started dwindling, that's when she started telling the story of, I was forced. She didn't realize that the consumers that were tuning into her music because she was a good R&B artist that came out were the same people that was supporting Beyonce and Sierra. So when you diss them, you kind of lost a lot of fans from that. But of course, people love to blame Beyonce. Y'all swear Beyonce got her shelved and blackballed from the industry. But anyway, I have some clips. Here's a clip of her in 2009 when she was asked about the song. And then I also play a clip of the snippet for anybody who hasn't heard the remix.
Okay. But there's a rumor going on that Polo the Don talked you into the studio, leaked a record that's considered a diss song for Beyonce and Sierra. Is that true?
It's considered that. Yes, Polo had this idea. No, he did not leak it. It's not the version Polo wanted out.
Okay.
Especially the version with him talking all over it. You know, it sounds like he's instigating something and giving more meaning into the lyrics than were initially intended. But no, he didn't like force me to do anything. I mean, it was a suggestion, and I told him, okay, I'll try it. You know, I'll try it, and that was just it. He was like, I want it a little more fiery, and that's cool. That's cool with me. I speak my mind, and you know, I make no apologies for it. So, you know, it's a hot verse. I love the verse. Yes, that's what it's about.
So please go down in the comment section and share your thought about this conversation down in the comment section. But as always, please keep it respectful. You're on this channel, we're allowed to disagree, but we'll do it in a very respectful way. So go ahead, feel free, share your thoughts. So let me know down in the comment section if you believe Keri Hilson story about how she was made to make that song, if you believe her story, or you believe the former story where she was talking about how she had to do it and she's not apologizing about it. Let me know down in the comment section what are your thoughts and opinion on this. But please, as always, please keep it respectful. Here on this channel, we're allowed to disagree, but we do it in a very respectful way. So go ahead, feel free, share your thoughts. So here's my own take on this. I personally am a big Keri Hilson fan, and also I'm a big Beyonce fan. I would say fan, like I listen to both ladies even to now, like I listen to them heavily. And I remember when this Time.Sone remix song dropped, like it was a talk of, everybody was talking about it literally. And I can, like, in my own opinion, I believe what Keri Hilson is saying of how she was made to make that song, and even her career was being threatened and all that. But one thing she should realize that even though her career was being threatened, her career too was also over because of that same song. Okay, but I do believe that if you remember back in the days, the way the industry was back in the days and the way the industry is now is totally different. I know people are saying that, oh, but in the past she admitted on doing the diss track and all that. I get it, but if you know, back in the days, the music industry did not allow women to have their voice. We've had women being abused in the industry and keep their mouth shut. They were just doing and moving because that's what the men in the industry, their labor wants them to do, so they will move accordingly. So I understand why back then with the song leaked and all that, she went on with it and was putting on the facade about it. I do believe her story that she was pressurized to make the song and all that, because even the lady that wrote the song, what's her name? The lady that wrote the song, Esther Dean has said yes, she did it. Like, even she said she did it. Until now, she's backpedaling like, oh, they both wrote it together. It was a collab song. But the bottom line is that she was not the one that wrote those lyrics, but she was made to sing those lyrics. And I personally, I can see how back then you just do anything. Remember when Rihanna said that like Jay-Z told her that she has to sign a contract there and all that, and she had to sign it. Women now in the industry can speak up and talk now because of social media and all that. But back then, all they just wanted to be a star and all that, so they would do anything to do it. So for me personally, not even saying, for me personally, I do believe a story, but I also believe that the industry always pitch women together for them. It's a thing, even till now. I remember there was this incident of people seeing Teams. I'm talking about Nigerian artists now. Teams and Arya Star and Tyler in Lagos doing the Dirty December. And people are like, oh, why are you people even friends? You people don't know that you people are rivals already. they can't stand when women come together and do the same thing and work together, and yet there's no form of jealousy or competition, and everybody's doing their own thing. Usually, especially in the entertainment industry, especially in the music industry, especially in the black music industry, they always want to pitch the women against each other, so that they, oh, this one doesn't like me, this one doesn't like me. Like, I remember there was another issue with Ciara and Rihanna, if I'm not mistaken. Like a whole lot of, I remember in that era, there was a lot of pitching females against each other and all that. And the truth is that these female allowed themselves to be pitched. And I feel like this also came from that main center, and they just want their career, so they would do whatever the main center men and the narrative those ones wanted them to push, so they went for it. So yeah, I do believe her story, but I don't think she was that young. She was 26, but we know the time she was talking about. That was the time where women like the Me Too movement has not even come out then. When the Me Too movement started, that was when women in the industry start speaking up, start calling men out for things that were done decades ago. We saw the BDD issue. It just came out, like he's just been arrested just last year after so long of doing that same thing over and over again. So I don't understand why she will go ahead and do it, and why now she's second. And people talking about why she's talking about it now is the fact that anything she tries to do in this life, people will always bring that, because that's a major turning point in her career. So people will always bring it up, and I do appreciate that she decided to clear it up and just let it, and hope this is the last time anybody will ask her, because now everybody know the deal and all that. And I hope that she can get to that place where she can see Beyonce and physically apologize to her, and even Ciara physically apologize to them, and then and I pray those ones accept the apology, and so that they can move past it. I personally, I don't like it when women are being pitched against each other. For me, you know, they say together we stand. When you scatter them, yes. So I feel like they know if the women come together in the industry, they'll be more powerful. So it's better they scatter them and pitch them against each other. But yeah, let me know what you think about this video down in the comment section, and share your thoughts. Share the video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we do here. We have banging conversation. So go on and share this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, smash the like button, because this helps YouTube to push out my content for more people to see, and that'll be you supporting this channel and this girl here. So go on and do that. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Deuces.